Hi Hastings fam, welcome back to another video. This is a bit of a different one. I'm doing a sit down with you guys just to give you like a life update announcement kind of video. So as you can see by the title, this is my pregnancy, I guess, story, announcement, whatever you want to call it. Basically how it all happened is we decided to try for the second baby, so baby number 2, and I was just like kind of tracking my cycle, etc., because I'm really bad at doing that. So I started tracking it using the app and everything. Anyway, time's coming up now, babe, because he can always tell. With Amira J, he did the same thing. So he was like, you know, do a test because I have a feeling that you might already be pregnant. I was like, what? No. Anyway, I was having like headaches, but I suffer from migraines anyway, but I'm having like consistent headaches and everything. But because there was a possibility that I could be pregnant, I stopped like all my pills and stuff. So I wasn't taking my migraine tablets. I'm the type of person where when I'm pregnant I stop everything, paracetamol, everything. I just when I ramp not that time, I don't want not that time. So he was like, I'll do a test, da, da, da. Anyway, so I do a test. I bought the clear blue one, and it said pregnant, and it was like 2 to 3 weeks pregnant. So that was the clear blue one. Then right throughout I keep doing tests. Like I don't know why, it's just something where I have to keep doing the test to find out, because obviously you don't get a scan till later on down in the pregnancy, and I just kept doing a test to see, just to make sure it was still red. So let me get my first test. So this one's my first test, you guys. Well, not the first one, the one I showed babe. Oh, no, would believe what happened to me. Imagine me take the test, the clear blue test, well excited, put on the test for surprise, babe, everything. When I go for make up the little box for surprise in the something blank, I did not know that it comes off the screen. I was so shocked. So anyway, I had to go back and get this kind of test that stays. So obviously when you're pregnant it shows double, so this double one was there. Anyway, so I showed him that. Obviously he was super excited. You know, it wasn't like if we're not sort of expecting it or whatever. Whenever did I do not with a prevent it from happening, so I didn't know say anything could have gone. So yeah, pregnant. So the early weeks it was just like nausea, really bad nausea. I was really dizzy, but I did have that in the pregnancy with Amira because I was what's it called oh, what's it called when you're like anemic. So the nausea was there, all of that. It was pretty spot on with just like Amira, except for implantation. This time round it was extremely painful, guys. When I say I could not move, it was like when I was giving birth to Amira, like that's how it felt during the implantation stage. So if you don't know what the implantation stage is, it's when so you have bleeding. So I thought it was just my normal cycle, have the bleeding and everything, and then that's, you feel pain and stuff like that. My lower back was absolutely in shambles and everything. Anyway, so yeah, that was pretty much the symptoms in the early stages. I remember at one point I did pass some like brownie discharge, pinkish brownie discharge, but then I researched it and they said this could happen in the implantation stage, so I didn't really think much of it, so that was whatever. Anyway, so got enrolled with the midwife. Obviously I had my baby, my first baby in Jamaica. This is the first baby I'd be having here. So went to the midwife and everything, and it was pretty quick, to be fair. Went and did, so they do like the initial blood tests. So they did about 6 different blood something them draw from me, and sent off. Those all came back fine, perfectly okay, everything. I'm sorry, I'm just looking down to make sure I don't miss any symptoms out. Yeah, so this time around way more exhausted. Like everything. It took everything out of me. I was weak, I was exhausted. It was like way worse than a Mirage, but I was craving in the early stage lettuce and cold vegetables. I'm not a salad person, I'm a vegetable person all the way, but I could not get enough of fresh vegetables, like crunchy juicy fresh vegetables. I was really craving that in the early weeks. So that was a crazy craving, which I found very strange. But yeah, that's pretty much how. So lots of migraines, really tired. Yeah, so that was the early part. He got me obviously flowers, as he normally does, him being my husband, and he also got me a pregnancy pillow because my back was so painful. So he got me a pregnancy pillow that was life changer. He also got me like a little tongue thing that grabs things to pick it up, and that's in anticipation for obviously when the bump is a lot bigger. And he got me this cute, how cute is this, pregnancy journal to write all the symptoms week by week and everything. So that was so cute and thoughtful of him, so that was really sweet. So what happened was, so how I am is I'm pretty like, until I know for sure there's just something that I'm really scared, like even with a mirror, that I always think, and I think it's pretty normal for all women, is to think that, oh gosh, don't announce till 14 weeks, don't announce till then because anything can happen, blah blah blah. So yeah, that's why I never ever share early on. And it's so funny because this needs to link right back into the loop of, guys, be very careful when you're asking people like, oh, when are you having your next baby, when are you having your first baby. Like, guys, stop asking people that. There's so many things that can go wrong, that is going on. There's things like, I even had a chat on one of my programs one time, women with PCOS, that affects and makes it slightly more difficult for you to get pregnant, sometimes even way more difficult for you to get pregnant. And having people ask all the time, when is the baby coming, when you have baby, when you take flank baby. Even the men you call them gelding. You know, the culture is just so, guys, you really need to stop that. Like, there's so much going on in people's lives. You never know, some people may not be ready yet, whether it's because of financial issues, life issues, mentally they're not ready yet. So you never know. So it's really, I understand that, you know, people may be excited and everything, but it's a very sensitive topic and you never know what's going on in someone's life. The males sometimes have issues. Some of them cannot you know, produce the correct sperm or viable sperm or whatever. Correct me if I'm wrong in the terminology, but some of them can't, and that affects, you know, them as a couple getting pregnant. You know, women have miscarriages all the time. Sometimes there's abortion that has to happen, whether it be because it's threatening the life of the mom, it could be it's threatening the life of the baby could have something that's, you know, really dangerous, life-threatening, and you may have to terminate the pregnancy. So a lot of things are going on, so just be mindful of all of these things, because this leads me to my next announcement, which is that so my pregnancy ending up being an ectopic pregnancy. Now, with an ectopic pregnancy, if you're not sure what it is, let me just quickly explain to you. So an ectopic pregnancy is where the egg or baby is stuck in the tube. It could be either the left or the right tube, either one it could be, but it's stuck in there, not able to go all the way down and obviously be in the womb where it should be growing. So baby was stuck in my tube. Guys, I'm gonna try and just talk about this and not get too emotional about it. So how I found out was, obviously super excited. I'm weeks into my pregnancy. Over here, the first scan wasn't booked in until I would have been about 16 or 20 weeks, something like that. That was the scan booked by my doctor, but me being me, can't wait. I booked with a private scan, to do a private scan. So when I went, the day I went to do my private scan, oh no, let me backtrack. About a week or 2 weeks before I was due to do my scan, I started getting really bad neck pain. Now guys, when I say I could not focus, I couldn't move, nothing, there was just like really painful neck pain. I thought, okay, maybe I cricked my neck, I sleep away last night, man, no. I thought maybe I cricked my neck. The next day comes, it's getting worse. The next day comes, it's getting worse. So I start Googling now. And when I Googled it, ectopic pregnancy came up. And I thought, oh, no, like, come on. That is so far-fetched. Like, that wouldn't be the case. You know, I looked up the different reasons that ectopic pregnancies could happen, which include, like, smoking or other things. None of the boxes ticked for me. Not one of them. So I thought, nah, I'm just overthinking. As usual, I'm a worrywart. My anxiety levels are super high. Don't worry about it. So I had the pain consistently for about a week. And obviously I'm not taking painkillers, so it was really bad. I wasn't sleeping, nothing. So anyway, it started dying down. I said, okay, you know, it passed. Maybe I did just crick my neck. So scan comes up, we're excited, me and babe are excited. Obviously nobody else knows what's going on. And Mira J, early on in my pregnancy, Amira J said to me, Mummy, you have a baby in your tummy? So Amira J knew from early on, and I was like, obviously we didn't tell her because, as I said, I don't share unless it's a certain point in my pregnancy. It's just how I am. So on the day we're going to do my scan now, I'm in the car and I said to babe, I said, babe, I don't feel right. I don't, like, something's wrong. And he was like, oh, don't worry, you're always worrying. Because I was the same with Amira, you're always worrying, it's fine. So we got to the doctor's and, you know, you get on the bed, everything. And she says to me, okay, Mummy, I'm gonna have a scan on top of the tummy. It may not show anything up because and I may need to go through vaginally. I said, okay, no problem. So she scans at the top, doesn't see anything. Bearing in mind, I've done 50 million pregnancy tests up until now, all positive. So she asked me, when did you do your last test? So immediately I think to myself, why is she asking that? So I started worrying from then. And then I was like, oh, I literally did one last night because I've just been taking it just to remind me that baby is still there and okay, because you don't get a scan till further on. So at this point I'm checking my app every day. I'm like, oh, baby's this size, baby's this size, baby's this size. So baby, it's baby Peanut, so we're gonna call it baby Peanut. We don't know obviously what gender baby Peanut was, but baby Peanut had a name. It was in my app. That's what we referred to baby Peanut as, everything. So she goes to me, let's do vaginally. So she's looking, then she says, then she says, oh, I'm really sorry, Mummy, but I'm not seeing baby where baby should be. This is, as she showed me on the screen, she said, this is where baby should be, but I'm not seeing baby there. So immediately I'm like, okay, what does this mean? So she said, I'm gonna have a look just at your tubes just to make sure everything is okay, because I think at that point she was thinking, oh, maybe I miscarried, you know, earlier on, but I didn't know, and my HCG levels are just still high, which is why the pregnancy test is still positive. Anyway, so she's scanning now, and then she says, okay, I can see babies in your right tube. So I'm like, okay, but obviously I wasn't too briefed on what ectopic pregnancy was in terms of the detail of everything. So I'm like, okay, so is, you know, what does this mean? She said, unfortunately, baby won't be able to survive, and baby won't be able to move down to where he should or she should be growing. So you need to go to the emergency room as soon as possible. So when she said this to me, I'm thinking, I'm like, wait, what, is this serious? She's like, yes, this is very serious. You need to go to the emergency straight away because there's a chance that your tube could rupture. I was like, oh my god. So immediately I break down completely, because I was not expecting to go and hear that my baby is not where it should be. I was not expecting to be going to the A&E, like the emergency room at the hospital. We had a date planned. We were going to see our baby on the scan, then we're going to take a Mirage out in celebration to show her the scans. This is not how it was meant to be. So when she said that to me, I said, okay. So I tried, you know, get myself together, babe, you know, helping me along. So we put on our clothes quickly and I head off to hospital. I'll insert some pictures and things. So we're at hospital for hours, absolutely hours. They did an additional scan, but because their technology wasn't as advanced as a private technology, they weren't able to confirm it there and then. So I had to go home and then go back to do a follow-up scan. Let me show you. So when I went for the follow-up scan, at this point they've not officially told me, obviously, at the hospital, that they're confirming it's an ectopic pregnancy, because apparently it's so rare. Like, a lot of people think it's an ectopic pregnancy, but then they weren't pregnant to begin with, or it was a chemical pregnancy where it terminated before, or it had a miscarriage or something. So when I went back to do the scan, it was so heartbreaking to me, guys, because I had to relive the moment all over again, because they were treating me as though they did not know. Obviously, I gave them my private referral, the scans, everything. I gave it to them, but they still wanted to do it on their own. So of course they had to scan me again, and every time they're prodding and stuff at my right side is hurting me. It is killing me. So of course they said, oh, I'm really sorry, yes, it is an ectopic pregnancy and baby's stuck in the right tube. Now obviously I heard this all before, but what crushed me at that point was that they said baby is still growing. So sometimes in an ectopic pregnancy, what happens is baby is stuck in the tube, but the body naturally terminates the pregnancy. So, you know, it's no longer a baby there in the tube. But mine wasn't. Mine was still very much growing. They said, based on, because they took my levels of HCG the first time I went in, compared it to the other one, and it doubled, which meant baby was still actively growing. So obviously this messed with me. So this is the scan. Let me show you guys. Now I don't know if I'm holding it the right way, but baby is there. So this is where baby should be. And baby is there in my tube, stuck in my right tube. So what was happening was, so okay, so got the scan, they confirmed it. Now course of treatment, obviously there's surgery where you lose your tube, you remove your tube, or you can have an injection, which is, let me get methotrexate. So there was the option of the methotrexate. Now I had to think about different things, because there's a lot of side effects of the injection. There's a lot of, obviously I don't want to lose my tube at the same time, but to think about the side effects of the injection, it was just a lot to take in. I was going through thinking about, obviously I'm about to lose my baby. Peanut is no longer going to be around physically, and then I had to think about what I want to do in order to treat this. And guys, it was just such a really extremely tough time for me. So we went ahead with the injection treatment, and with that it meant that I had to get a dose first, and then I basically had to be on bed rest because there was still a chance that it could rupture. And then the side effects, it throwing up, I was extremely weak, I could hardly move, I was stressed, my anxiety was just everything that you can think of. My mental, really, I was in a very dark place. So I was on treatment, so 3 months, that well, 3 to 6 months it can linger in your system for. But I was back up and doing better after about a month, I would say, but still even now having issues with that. So it was very crazy, just that whole scenario. And my problem is, so even sleeping at night is very, well, it's better now, but before I would just randomly break down. And hubby was so supportive, because what would happen is Amira J kept asking, Mummy, you have a baby in your tummy? And from when she said it to me the first time, after that she kept drawing pictures, because she's been asking for a sibling for ages. So she kept drawing pictures. In the beginning, when Amira J found out, well, in her head, I don't know what kind of connection kids have to mums, and let me know if you've ever experienced this, if you have a kid and then have another one or anything. She knew from when I say early on, I mean Amira J said this to me when I was about 4 weeks. When I was about 4 weeks, she said to me, Mummy, there's a baby in your tummy. So anyway, she kept drawing pictures of, like, she draws a lot, so all the pictures she drew of me had a belly and a bump, and she was like, oh, this is me and you're the baby, and daddy's here, and you know, it's just perfect and everything. So obviously we didn't tell her that I was pregnant, because it turned out to be ectopic. So as I'm healing, I remember one day she said to me, she goes, Mummy, no, the day I came back from hospital when I did the injection, I was very down, because it was very final for me. It's that day I knew that Peanut obviously wouldn't be a part of me anymore for much longer. So when I came home, immediately she hugged me in just a very different way. And I can, you know, I played it off. She obviously, I don't show her when I'm upset or anything, but she just knew. And then one day, about a couple weeks into my healing, while my body is doing what it needs to do, so what the injection does is it gets rid of the pregnancy. So a couple weeks into that, she goes to me just very randomly, she said to me, Mummy, when am I gonna get a baby, brother or sister? So I said, what do you mean? I thought you said there was a baby in my tummy. And she sort of said, not anymore. And it just threw me back, because I thought, how on earth? Like, she doesn't even know what's going on. How does she know what's going on, kind of thing? So it really threw me, and I think that's what made it really difficult for me, because bless her, throughout the process of going through Peanut leaving me physically, she kept asking, oh, Mummy, I want a sibling, and things like that. So it was very tough time. What I try to do now is to get out of, because there was quite a lot of anxiety and depression afterwards. As I said, it was a very dark time, and I'm seeing sort of a way out now. So what I had to do is I got into a routine. I focused more on like self-care and things like that. I did my like, I have a proper skin routine, nighttime routine, morning routine, all of that. But it's just so crazy, because my body went through everything. It went through everything, all the symptoms you can think of in pregnancy. My body went through it, because, and it's so crazy to me, because at the point of when my scan would have been, I would have been, Lord knows what would have happened, because I don't think I would have got to that point. God is so good. Jesus Christ, God is so good, because it obviously, if that ruptures, it can kill the mom. So it just, everything just how it was meant to happen. I was meant to book that private scan, I was meant to see all of that. So, you know, and I'm sure there's a lot of other, please let me know if there's any other women out there, any of my followers that been through ectopic or been through miscarriage or been through struggle with getting pregnant, anything like that. Just leave, feel free to DM me on Instagram or leave a comment down below. So just leave some hearts in the comments down below, just for support for women in general. So I know you guys might be confused. So my video that I posted on Instagram, it's true, I was pregnant, and that was done in place of celebration of Peanut for where I would have been at this point, and also in celebration of mums overall. And just to let you know that it's not all the time, you know, what people are going through. People are going through a lot of things behind the scenes. You need to always remember to be kind to people. Don't do unto others as you wouldn't want to do unto yourself. Don't let this internet life get a hold of you. Don't feel because you're behind a screen or behind a keyboard you can treat people anyway. Stop asking people about when they're going to have babies. There's a lot of things happening in people's lives, and it's very, very difficult to face questions and certain things like that when you are going through these things. So that was a celebration of Peanut, and it took me a while to sort of comprehend it all, but my sister, amazing as she is, she sort of put it into perspective for me, in that, you know, I don't know why I keep referring to Peanut as a he. It's almost like my motherly instincts know from day one that it's a boy. I knew from day one Amira was a girl. I don't know why my instincts are saying he. So I'm going to run with it because that's what my gut is telling me. So he left me physically, but as my sister put it for me, is that he will always be with me. So that's just how we look at it, and how we're sort of healing as a couple, healing as parents, healing as a family. And that's where we are right now. So yeah, leave some comments of some hearts down below in support for women who go through, you know, all of these things. And please do share as a part of my healing journey, hearing different stories and talking. I'm at the point of talking about it now. Even a month ago, even 2 weeks ago, I would never be able to even bring myself to do the video that I did. So I've come a long way. So if you are going through anything, feel free to reach out to me. But until next time, Hastings fam, thank you so much for joining me. I love you guys. Bye bye.